Alright, I'm about to come out here and pick some beans. We got some beans. It looks like maybe some carrots in there. Not sure. Lots of tomatoes. It's just a small little family garden, but it works for us. Let's see. Alright, we got some of this little netting stuff to keep some of the animals out. We have. Alright, let's see what we got. What is this? Oh, this is some jalapenos. Look at those nice jalapenos. Look at those. Here we got, that looks like carrots again. Some green beans. I'm going to be picking these. Yucky. But Mike's still over here picking because I didn't do a good job, so he's got more to get. Oops. These are beans. Bag. Alright, now we got our beans from the garden. We're gonna snap them. I just snapped the edges off. That little thing always seems to come off, the little hairy looking thing. This. And then you just snap. And that's it. Now we're just blanching. We're gonna blanch these. It's a little bit of a boil. Maybe we should have done it a little more, but it'll probably be alright. You do that for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then we'll put them on some ice. And I'll show you that here in a sec. Okay, while the beans are blanching, I went ahead and made a bowl of ice water. Because we're going to put the beans in here because it stops the cooking process. We don't want the beans, we just want them a little blanched. We don't want them totally cooked before we freeze them. So this ice water will stop the cooking process. Alright, we got some ice water to cool these beans down quickly. I did the ice bath for just maybe a minute or two, not too long. And then I like to lay out my beans on a towel to dry them. I'm gonna let them air dry mostly because our next step, we have to put them in a pan and flash freeze them. And if you have the beans all wet, it's gonna create a lot of ice. So I try to get it as dry as I can. So I'm gonna let it sit here on the counter for a bit and dry off. All right, so now we're going to start our freezing process. I have a baking pan here, or just a flat pan, whatever you have. And I'm gonna put this parchment paper on here. I have some, got some parchment paper from Amazon Basics parchment paper, nonstick. That's what I buy. I find the price is pretty reasonable. So I'm gonna just put a layer of beans on this pan. You don't want to stack them up. Sorry, I'm not being a good camera person. You don't want to like have a pile of beans because then it's not going to really freeze the way you want. So you want to have a pretty thin layer. And I'm going to have to do a few rounds of this because you see I have lots of green beans. So I'll just put this pan in the freezer, something like this. Probably about, I'm going to check them in about 45 minutes to an hour. See if they have a little bit of hardness to them. Some people do it, it seems like, for a few hours, so I don't know if it really matters that much or not, but we'll check them again and then we'll bag them up. So we'll do that next. All right, so now it's been about an hour. I got the green beans pretty frozen. They're hard. Well, you can't tell, but they're hard now. So they'll freeze much nicer this way in the bag. They won't stick together. I have these Amazon, what do you call them? Amazon Basics gallon freezer bags that I like to use. Some people like to use those, I don't know what you call them, those suction machines, which we do have one of those. But we're just going to use the freezer bags. They've worked out for me quite well. So I'm just going to put them in the freezer bags, and then we could freeze them probably about up to 6 months, but they're not going to last that long around here. We love green beans. So I wrote on here April 2026. My green beans, they're going to freeze nicely. And I'm going to do the second round of beans. I'm going to flash freeze them, and then I'll put them in here in the same bag. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Okay, I just wanted to mention one other thing though. When you seal your bags, make sure to push as much air out as you can, because you don't want to freeze these with a bunch of air in them, because it's not good to do. It doesn't store well. So this is pretty flat, you see. I just pushed all the air out before I ziplocked it. So that's just an important step.